Trust me, man, I've been there. You're running an agency, you learn all the service delivery, everything you need to know, then you can't close clients. I'm gonna be going over 3 easy ways, 3 basic ways to double your close rate in SMMA. So if you're at 10, that means going to 20. If you're at 20, it means going to 40. If God forbid you're at 40 like myself, well then that means going to 80. If you do find value in this video, I do have a mentorship. I'll talk about it at the end, number 1. And number 2, like, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. And yeah, with this introduction, this video is going to be less than 10 minutes all said and done. So if you can't sit through that to double your close rate, then you're probably cooked anyway. And God, I could give you 100 tips that won't help you. So without further ado, let's just hop right into the video. Catches. It's not $400, it's $390.14. By God, sue me. All right, so the first thing is be a human above all else. Duh. I know that sounds very beginner. I know that sounds very simple, but you would be incredibly surprised how not just beginners, not just intermediates, but advanced level closers forget this portion of the sales process. They get too stuck in their ways, too stuck on a script or a framework. They've trained so much that the questions are in the back of their mind that they just subconsciously just go like, yeah, so where are you going to go from X to Y? So imagine if advanced level people are struggling with this. Pretty much every beginner or intermediate I see struggles with this issue. So how do I be a human above all else? Well, I have genuine curiosity. Man, are you okay? Versus, man, are you all right? Are you fine? When you go to the doctor's office, for example. And how long has that been going on for? Versus, yep, timeline. How long has that been going on for? So you got to be genuinely curious, which opens up the prospect a tremendous amount. Next, I'll kind of combine these two, is stick to your values and believe what you say. When you say something and have conviction in it, the prospect will believe it. I promise you that. They might be a little bit skeptical, but above all else, having true, genuine confidence in you, yourself, your team, your solution, all of that, having the utmost conviction to be able to help someone, you can't fake that. And the prospect sees that, feels that, hears that. And when you're sticking to your values and when you're believing what you say, the psychological trick that happens is if you don't, you will struggle to actually handle things, to actually get conviction. And this is why you get, I need to think about it, partner objections, because the prospect feels something's off, but they can't quite tell. And so when you stick to your values, like for example, if you yourself are a fast decision maker and you believe in making fast decisions to grow a business, you will say the words and think the thoughts and take the actions and have the beliefs to be able to instill that, as long as you hold frame, instill that in your prospect. And now if you, for whatever reason, don't have that, your prospects will feel it, whether they understand it or not. The only difference between your run-of-the-mill prospect and an FBI interrogator is that the FBI interrogator is trained to pick up on subconscious cues, to pick up on body language, non-verbal cues, whereas the general prospect, they might not understand it at all, but the subconscious mind is as good as the top-level FBI investigator in the world. Being genuinely curious or concerned or just genuine above all else, sticking to your values and holding the frame over the prospect, believing what you say, those will all carry through. And the way to make sure they carry through, have fun, guys. Look at me smiling, cracking a joke. We were talking about what God knows. I don't even want to say it on this call, but we were having some fun, right? And that's a coaching call to improve. It's a serious thing. I spend hours preparing for it. Same thing when I hop on my sales calls. I spend time preparing for it. I talk to the prospect. I understand that there's money on the line, but at the end of the day, it's all fun. I love training. I love sales. I love these things. And I'm not really nervous about anything. When you're able to smile, when you're able to crack jokes, it shows that you've been here before, that you have professionalism, and it allows the prospect to want to be guided by you. Moving on, tonality and energy. As I said, being curious, concerned. These are the things most commonly missed in your tonality, right? When I say a question, we could have the same script, same framework, same everything, but the way we say it, the way we convict with our body, with our mind, with our nonverbal cues is what makes or breaks the sale. I'll give you an example. So, man, what happens, obviously, if you are not able to get leads, which then leads you to not have work on the schedule, to be overly stressed and all that? What happens then? Versus, so what happens if you can't get leads and then your clients and then your workers hate you and your wife hates you and it leads you to not be able to grow the business? What happens then? Completely different. Or even if we take up, say, a playful tone, right? One used to crack jokes. Let's just say, for example, it was thunderstorming behind me and I'm like, oh yeah, enjoying the beautiful weather. Some playful tone. Imagine if we use that during a consequence question or an impact question.
So, man, what's been the impact of like having all this stuff, right? It would just come off wrong. So you have to have the right tonality. Along with that, you have to have the right energy. You don't want to be too happy, you don't want to be too sad. You want to be ready, you want to be a little excited, not tired, scared, awkward, or etc. You don't want to be tired or scared. You don't want your energy too low. You don't want to be too high up here. Oh my god, I just snorted a line of cocaine and I'm ready to get in the sales call. Let's go. I'm super excited. Oh my god, I've done every single research about you, right? You don't want to be either of those. You want to be just right. You want to be curious. You want to be calm. You want to be ready. You want to be professional. And you want to have the right energy where, hey, listen, I'm excited to be here, but I'm also not really excited because I've taken these calls all day. But I like my job and I like what I do. And I'm genuinely interested to learn more about you, to grow your business and everything like that. And I'm also not boring. I'm also not tired. I'm also not scared or anything like that, right? Again, you don't want to be low energy. You don't want to be tired. You don't want to be uninterested. You don't want to be too cracked out, too energized, or too interested. You want to just be somewhere in the middle, pretty happy, pretty excited, not sad. You're ready to perform. Now, the third and final thing is two basic things I see the majority of sales reps, even including higher level ones, actually miss, is how you build rapport and how you build authority. Now, wait a second, Dom. Everybody knows how to build rapport and authority. You set the frame, you show you're a professional, you ask them about the weather, yada, yada, yada. No. Real rapport, not fake rapport. Asking guided questions. The biggest thing is when you ask guided questions, a lot of the sales calls I review, the questions are kind of like nonsensical. Oh, and what type of work do your guys like doing? Okay, so they like doing this. Okay. And why are you on the call again? Okay, you want to get more leads. Okay, and with the leads, it's like you have to be clear and concise. I'm going to pose this to you. If you're using a script, if you're using a framework, and any question is not landing with a good amount of impact or not driving the sale forward, take it out right now. And if you're probing into things that don't matter, take a second and put it in a different scenario. For example, what I like to do with my students and myself even is I put everything they say into a scenario I can understand, which is weight loss. So if someone said they're here to lose weight, I'd go like, okay, what are you doing now? But when, for some reason, when people talk about business owners and getting leads, they might say, what are you doing now? But then they might go off and be like, oh, well, yeah, I mean, in your space, the economy's pretty challenging. I do see that. What are you doing right now to counteract the economy? What are you doing for this? What are your guys doing right now? I saw you set up a Facebook page 3 months ago. All these stupid 9-guided questions. And what is that going to get you? The prospect to realize you're not professional and no one wants to buy from a non-professional majority of the time. What guided questions also do is it builds rapport because it shows you genuinely care, and people love talking about themselves and especially their problems, what they're dealing with, the things that are pissing them off, and their dreams. It's the two things they love talking about the most. So when you ask guided questions and you have confidence in the sale, authority and rapport is already being built. It doesn't come from fake rapport. It doesn't come from asking about the weather in the beginning of the call like every other salesman, right? And it certainly doesn't come from setting frame. Now, what we're going to do with this call, Mr. Prospect, is we're going to go through step by step, A through Z, everything about your business. At the end of the call, it's a yes, it's a hell yes, it's a no. There is no such thing as I need to think about it, right? Something like that. I've never been to a doctor's office. And he's like, all right, so here's what we're going to do. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check your ears. I'm going to bang your knee. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And at the end of the meeting and at the end of the visit, we'll decide if we can move forward or not with a surgery. Does that sound fair enough? No. He just comes in. He starts asking me questions, as professionals do in all other settings. And this leans into being professional is knowing the next move. Type A prospects, aka guys are just kind of straight to the point, straight shooters. They sense blood in the water. If you have utter conviction, if you have confidence in your questions, and they say one little thing here and there to try to test you, and you stay firm, they will stop. They will realize they're talking to a professional. They will realize that they need your help, and they'll put their ego aside. If you don't know your next move, if you're showing evident lack of either experience or lack of confidence, they will bite. They'll get the price. They'll tell you that they don't make decisions on the spot. And if you keep pushing, they'll leave the call. So all in all, you build real rapport and you build real authority by asking guided questions, having confidence, and not being dismayed by whatever any prospect tries to say. You know your worth, you know you're proven, so don't let anybody take that from you. So that's it for the video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. I do have a mentorship going on right now. It is free. What? Yep, best offer on the market. I will say, do not waste my time. If you want to work with us, you do have to be on our Go High Level affiliate. No ifs, ands, or buts. You couldn't even pay me $1,000 or $10,000 or anything like that. Just be on my Go High Level affiliate. It's 2-on-1 mentorship. I will be working with you on your sales, improving that front. My partner, Caden, he'll be working on your service delivery. He'll be working on your marketing. And overall, we're going to give you the foundational steps that we use to scale from $0 to $30,000 per month in SMMA, now geared towards AI agency. So yeah, that was the video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a great one.